Yo, still don't know your name. You should let me know. But yeah, I've never had that happen to me from smoking cannabis. The first few times I ever tried it, it was definitely a more intense experience than it is when I smoke nowadays. Um, Probably the most intense experience I had was I experienced discrete moments in time, and everything my experience got sort of broken up into like a calculus of some kind, and there were these. Each moment was a tangent, and I got one perspective that was sort of a freeze frame, and as I moved, it was like frame, 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 and I wasn't just seeing it; I was feeling the pulsations in my body, and if I closed my eyes, I could try to stay in one frame for a little bit longer, but it wasn't frightening at all. I never really had a frightening experience with any drugs. Intense experiences, definitely. The first time I tried mushrooms, I was alone. I was just in my room in my apartment, and I was as the trip was starting, I was writing, and I was writing about how I could never possibly describe the actual train of thought that I was having. I don't know whether it was because I was experiencing in more than just the two dimensions that a printed language could actually account for. As a huge wasp. Whoa. Can you see that? Oh boy. Hope it leaves soon. I guess he's just gonna chill. Yeah. Um, but so after I got tired of trying to write about something I could never possibly describe, uh, this feeling started to rise up from my stomach, up my spine, and I started to get short of breath, and I went to lay down, and I just closed my eyes and lay back on my bed, and I started traveling through this tunnel. It looked like there was stained glass, all different colors above me or surrounding me, and as I traveled through it, they all shimmered and they sounded like wind chimes as the light ran through them. And um, you know, I think that I was traveling almost maybe up my spinal cord, and when I got to the end of this tunnel, it was all of these little clicking devices. I think they're neurons, and I think I was experiencing my brain thinking on a physical level, and each neuron, they're all clicking in these waves of activity of clicks, where there was no it wasn't that they were in control of my thoughts. There was no I was the clicking and the patterns, and I was floating around with them, and it was a very intense experience. I wasn't in my room on my bed anymore, for sure, and I don't really know how much time passed. Sort of, time becomes a little meaningless in those circumstances. But it definitely does seem to be other modes of reality, other dimensions of consciousness that they've got to be here right now, even while I'm in this normal state of rational egoic consciousness. But somehow we can pick one dimension and just focus on that, and that wasp was just hovering around there. But yeah, crazy shit, man. Oh yeah, I texted a comment, posted a text comment asking you how long that little cannabis experience you had lasted. Because that's weird, man. It probably was laced with something, because I don't know what else. I've never heard of just marijuana causing that. Um, so yeah, let me know.